my wife. Me too, but she does more. But when we talk about family values, our values are very different than Republican family values. We talk about ending the international embarrassment of the United States being the only major country on earth not to guarantee paid family and medical leave. I want to talk about family values. Today in Wisconsin, today in Vermont, women are giving birth. Big day for the family, big day for the baby. But here is the reality. If that woman in Vermont or that woman in Wisconsin does not have a lot of money, she will, in a few weeks' time, be forced to separate herself from that newborn baby, go back to work in order to earn enough income to take care of her family. That is not a family value. That's the opposite of a family value, and that is why we will pass legislation in Congress guaranteeing 3 months paid family medical leave. Now, I have been criticized for saying this in the past, so let me say it again. In my view, health care is a right, not a privilege. I am a member of the committee that helped write the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act has done a lot of very positive things for this country, but we still have a long way to go. Today, we remain the only country in the industrialized world. Germany has health care for all, the UK, France, Scandinavia. I want to talk about family values. Today in Wisconsin, today in Vermont, women are giving birth. Big day for the family, big day for the baby. But here is the reality. If that woman in Vermont or that woman in Wisconsin does not have a lot of money, she will, in a few weeks' time, be forced to separate herself from that newborn baby, go back to work in order to earn enough income to take care of her family. That is not a family value. That's the opposite of a family value, and that is why we will pass legislation in Congress guaranteeing 3 months paid family medical leave. Now, I have been criticized for saying this in the past, so let me say it again. In my view, health care is a right, not a privilege. I am a member of the committee that helped write the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act has done a lot of very positive things for this country, but we still have a long way to go. Today, we remain the only country in the industrialized world. Germany has health care for all, the UK, France, Scandinavia, Canada, Italy, you name it. Every country guarantees health care to all except the United States. Together, we are going to end that. In America today, 29 million Americans have no health insurance. Many of you are underinsured with high deductibles and high co-payments. And every day, we are being ripped off unconscionably by the drug companies who charge us the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. And on top of all of that, we end up paying far, far higher prices for prescription drugs than any other country on earth. If elected president, we will move forward to a Medicare for all single-payer healthcare system. And when we do that, we guarantee comprehensive health care to all, and we save middle-class families thousands of dollars a year on their health care bills. Now, my friends, everybody here knows that real change never takes place from the top on down. It is always from the bottom on up. That is the lesson of American history. It is the lesson of world history. 100+ years ago, when workers in this country were being ruthlessly exploited, being overworked, being underpaid, they stood up and said, we are not animals, we are human beings, we are going to form trade unions. And we owe our brothers and sisters in the trade union movement, we owe them a whole lot for helping to create a 40-hour work week and helping to create the middle class of this country. And let me tell Governor Walker, he may have won a short-lived victory here against the unions, but that short-term victory will not stand in the long run. We are going to rebuild the trade union movement. The history of the civil rights movement is about, over centuries, African Americans and their allies coming together to say that in this country, racism and segregation and bigotry will not stand. We are going to change that dynamic in American society. And in that fight for civil rights and ending racism, we don't know how many people died or went to jail or were beaten. But that's how change comes about. 100 years ago, women in America, people forget this, 100 years ago, a very short time in a historical perspective, 100 years ago, women did not have the right to vote, to go to the schools they wanted, to do the work they wanted 100 years ago. But women and their male allies stood up, fought back, went to jail, went on hunger strikes, in some cases died. To say that in America, women will not be second-class citizens. We will take on sexism. We were in this room 7 years ago, no time at all. Somebody jumps up and says, you know, Bernie, I think that by the year 2015, gay marriage will be legal in 50 states in this country. The person next to him would have said, what are you smoking? You are nuts. But because of the struggle over decades by the gay community and their straight allies, who said, you know what, in America, we are going to have a country where people will be able to love each other regardless of their gender. We prevail. Now, what am I trying to say? What I'm saying is that when people come together and they look around them, and whether it is the exploitation of workers or women or African Americans and minorities or gays, when people look around them, they say, you know what? The status quo is no longer acceptable. It has got to change. And in my view, we are at that pivotal moment in American history. We are at that moment. We are at that moment where millions of people are looking around them and they say, why do we have such a grotesque level of income and wealth inequality where almost all new income goes to the top 1%? Not acceptable. Why do we have more people in jail than any other country on earth? Not acceptable. Why is the middle class continuing to disappear? Not acceptable. Why are young people leaving school deeply in debt? Not acceptable. Why do we continue having institutional racism? Not acceptable. Why are we the only major country on earth that doesn't guarantee health care to all or paid family and medical leave? Not acceptable. Why are we not more aggressive in combating climate change? Not acceptable. And people are looking all around and they're saying it is too late for establishment politics and establishment economics. And people are saying we need a political revolution where millions of people stand up, fight back, and create a government that works for all of us. Now, today we have won apparently great victories in Washington and in Alaska, and we don't know yet about Hawaii. Last week we won just huge victories in Idaho and in Utah. And now we are coming big time into Wisconsin. What we have seen throughout this campaign is that when voter turnout is high, we win. When it is low, we lose. So right now I am requesting, I am hoping, I am asking people to help us in every way they can to make sure that we win here in Wisconsin. Thank you all very much.